Hi, I am therapist and holistic nutritionist Jaz Robbins, and welcome. I am so enjoying myself having this conversation with you about mental health issues that kids deal with, that adolescents deal with, that teens deal with. These are issues that just don't get enough conversation, and I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to engage and maybe even start the dialogue for many of you. I'm not your therapist, but as I'm with you over these next several weeks, I just want to be able to give you some information, some insight, and some love. As you know, Jaz Gaustad, singer-songwriter extraordinaire, has released new music, and the album is titled Black Box. This week, the song that we got is Elephant in the Room. My favorite lyric is, "I'd rather be miserable with you than to have to wake up with someone new." This song tackles unhealthy relationships. And I love that line because if we're honest with ourselves, I think we have all been in that place where we know full well this relationship is not good for me, but I can't even stand the thought of leaving because that feels like more work than dealing with the monster of this relationship that I'm in right now. This week, I want to talk to you about relationships and codependency. Codependency, I'll be honest, it was a word that I heard for a long time, but I didn't really fully understand until maybe just, 5-6 years ago. Codependency, at its root, it describes a phenomenon or a situation when you find yourself hooked or emotionally attached to a person who just isn't good for you. It's a word that talks a lot about individuals who are in relationships with other individuals who are dealing with substance use, but it goes much farther than that. That's not the only type of codependent relationship that's out there. Oftentimes, what a codependent relationship looks like is a healthy, well person who's trapped in a relationship with maybe someone who's being verbally abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive, or sexually abusive. This other individual could simply be dealing with their own demons that they're working hard to battle. And they don't have the power, they don't have the capability to show up in this relationship in the way that you need them to. So as a result, you're getting the worst version of them while you're still trying to make this relationship work, and it feels awful. And you know it feels awful. But sometimes in codependency, the well individual has a need and a want, knowingly or unknowingly, to be attached to someone who isn't good for them. Sometimes people who have a tendency towards codependency, they may find themselves seeking out romantic relationships with individuals who need saving. This makes this other individual feel needed, feel wanted, feel desired. And you may be listening and say, well, Jaz, aren't those elements sort of showing up in all kinds of relationships? Sure, of course, we all want to be needed. We all want to be wanted. We all want to be desired. We all want to feel like we can add value to someone else's life. Here's the difference with a codependent relationship. You start to fade away, and their needs, their wants, their desires become your ultimate priority. It may be hard for you to make a decision without them weighing in. The only thing you think about is pleasing them. The only thing you're concerned about is their opinion of you. The challenge with that is that this other individual, they're not well. They're not at their best. So when your image of yourself is tied to their view of you, it's so incredibly distorted. And what you end up with is you stop seeing yourself in the best possible light because you're viewing it through their eyes. They're not well. They're on their own path and their own journey to healing. And when you stay connected in this relationship, it drags the both of you down. Going back to the lyric in the song, it's hard. It's super hard to pull yourself out of this situation, but it has to be done. Another thing about codependent relationships, they don't only show up in romantic spaces. They can show up in peer-to-peer friendships. They can show up in parent-child relationships. And again, it's when you're in that relationship that just isn't healthy, but you can't seem to let go. You're clutched on because there's something about it that seems to feed you, but none of it is right. Neither of you are getting what you need. Both of you are suffering. And I want both of you to get the help that you need. I read a book called Codependent No More. I read it years ago, but it helped me so much. It's by Melody Beattie. If you can't seem to get to talk to someone and you're looking for a resource, it's a wonderful, wonderful book. It's only about this thick, super easy read, and it will absolutely shed so much light on the dynamic that is codependent relationships. If you do want to talk to someone, please reach out. Reach out to someone you know, someone you love, someone you trust. If you're looking around and you don't have that person in your life, I urge you to reach out to Teen Line. It's a hotline that is for teens and it's run by teens. It's the very hotline that I worked at when I was in high school. The folks answering the phone calls, they are well trained to help you get over this hump and to connect you to long-term resources. If you only reach out for me, please, 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 I beg that you reach out. Now, in terms of our tool for this week, I hope you have your index card. This week, I want to talk about quality proteins. Well, what's a protein? Is that meat? I'm a vegetarian, I'm a vegan. Give me a second, give me a second. Quality proteins, they increase your alertness. So you get tryptophan and they help to build or give you serotonin. They increase your alertness and they can help you feel good, especially if you've got the blues and you've had the blues for a little bit. When I say quality, we want to stay away from things that have a lot of hormones in them and sometimes we can't get access. But even if we only have a few servings a week, it's better than no servings. So I'm talking about good turkey, I'm talking about good chicken, I'm talking about good soy products even. Quality protein. Good fish. Do yourself a favor, do your body a favor, and make sure you're getting quality proteins during the week. Yeah, the chips are awesome, but I need you to get some quality protein. I am therapist and nutritionist Jaz Robbins. I want you to know that you are worthy, you matter, and you deserve to experience the full awesomeness that your life has to offer. I hope you'll join me here next week. Until next time, bye-bye.